over the Bollinger Band. You know how it goes. You know, we're just a little bit overbought here. We've been getting multiple gap and grind kind of days here. Got multiple gap and grind days. Yeah, I think maybe we pull back to the 9. We'll have to be on watch for a potential red to green into the market. And then we'll see what happens. Maybe we fade off, maybe we don't. It's hard to tell. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's take a look at the earnings plays. Before we get in the earnings plays, I got a nice solid list for us. Let's go in. Mara, breakout, pull back to support. I think these Bitcoins are still going to be holding up. I mean, I'm in a whole host of cryptocurrency trades right now that are fucking flying over here. Ba-dum, da-da, da-da. And I would keep a look at this. You got a couple of these that are going to be monster cock heaters. Look at this thing. Waves. I added this a couple days ago. 13. Whew. You got some that are going to be really heating up here. This ENJ just broke his flag. Shake me out. But there's a couple other ones here. This Mana is going for a third tap. So you got like this big push, second tap. We going in for round 3 here. Usually that third tap, I mean, that's gonna be pretty hot. I sold my swing in this Neo. This thing's got tons of. I mean, you guys should be trading this stuff, like, especially if you're a swing trader in stocks. Like, you can make way more money doing this. You're starting to build out a flag in Neo. I had this thing fucking like 1,000 of these things at 45. Look at this thing. I think this one, it needs a few more days to flag, but it should be pretty good. Dot Nation, you got a breakout, pull back to support. You're holding over at the 9 EMA. This is a heater too. You guys should be trading this. You know, cryptocurrencies, no account minimums. You know, you don't have PDT, all that kind of fun stuff. The commissions are a bitch, but you really should. Especially if you stink at trading stocks, this is a lot easier to trade too, frankly. If you stink at trading stocks, this is frankly a lot easier because it's more multi-day holds. You know, the shorter you kind of bring in your time frames, the more difficult trading becomes. Meaning, trading on a 1 minute by 1 minute basis is infinitely harder than trading on a weekly by weekly basis. Meaning, if your candles were weeklies versus 1 minute, the decision-making process is the same, but one you would have weeks to think about, one you would have minutes to think about. It just ends up being a little bit more tricky. But there's some good heaters over here. I keep an eye on this Atom. You know, this thing's been acting like a little bit of a sleuth, but it actually kind of reminds me of this Waves. You know, like you got like this kind of, it's just marinating here. I mean, don't sleep on this stuff. Like this, you know, I had a couple thousand of these, not like a huge position size. But like, man, you ripped $3-4 in a day, $5. I mean, that's 2,000 shares. I mean, you ripped 10 G's, 15 G's. Like by the time this is over, you know, who knows how much you make. So like, you got to be in this stuff. I mean, if you like making money, you got to be in it. You know, like you can grind your balls all day in stocks, but like the coins, they can really get going. Add Mara to the list. Riot is also still on the list. You're just kind of marinating here. It needs this trend line break. If you're an older person above the age of 47, this JP Morgan, this is an IRA 401k play, but you do have, I don't know, Jesse, you can't Google that? You got a breakout over here. This is a little bit of a slower thing. This is more like a 401k play. I added a couple swings for you guys because I think the market itself is starting to pick up some steam. You know, this PLL is another one that's got really like a lot of juice. You got a nice kind of hold around 65. Today we're going to get some weakness in the market, right? Like we're already gapping down a decent amount. So like something like this PLL, like if it busts down a little bit at the open, you may get yourself, you may get yourself a little bit of a, potential on this. Yeah, you get a little pull on this. I think that would probably trigger a swing. STPK had a nice day yesterday. Some of these battery stocks are, some of them look like shit like F-Cell, and then some of them look fantastic. So you just have to be mindful of that. But you got like a nice location on this. This is a rounding pattern. And frankly, man, that thing's just got it's got chance for some heat. Definitely I would definitely be keeping that on your watch list. This may even turn into something that, you may be able to hold for multiple days if it starts to pick up. You saw the same type of deal with Blink. Like Blink is starting to break over its range. And this does have a lockup today, by the way. I told you guys about it yesterday. I forgot exactly how many shares were getting pushed in, but there's a chance that yesterday was just a little bit of a pump to unload on the lockup. That does happen. That's just part of trading. It's smart business on their end, but you may get a little bit of a pullback on this one. Lockups, frankly, the float is tiny on it, so even if they're releasing like, say, 10 million shares or something, it could get pretty nasty. Yeti is another one I would add. This is for a swing trade only. You got one test, two tests, three tests over probably about 78. This is another one that you could tuck into your IRA. It's in a recent IPO from a couple years ago. If you're really looking here, you got a nice kind of location, 78, 79. You guys should have IRAs and 401ks. That's just part of the game. If we need some shorts, VIPS has got a level here. It's got a level right here. We're at the level, basically. We're at the level. This thing's looking zesty. I think for a potential short, obviously we were playing with the IQ the last couple days. The ATR on it's been really... The ATR has been really reduced on it. Same thing with Baidu the last couple days. I think VIPs maybe just give us a little bit more range. Same thing, like Dishka looks like a bear flag over here. We're going to need some shorts today. The market is extended. We got to come in. We got to come in hot on some of these things. Da-da, da-da. Hold on here. Sorry, making some crypto trades. Da-da, da-da. Yeah, we're coming in hot on here. If you look at, if you look at this bad boy, like you've got yourself a really just easy kind of happy-go-lucky level around 40. Like this thing, I think this thing ends up getting shredded, if the market starts to get a little bit more heat. See, this VIAC is like too close to the 200 SMA, I think. I think Dishka's got just a little bit more room, obviously, because this 200 SMA is $10 away. If we need some shorts, we wear shorts. Man, what commercial is that from? We wear shorts. Man, that's going to be in my head. I had to think about that. I forgot. IQ, VIPS, Dishka, Nair. Yes, Nair. That's what it is. I remember that because when that commercial came out, there was a little bit of a bully in class and in my school. I think this is in middle school. And he told me that I should pour a gallon of Nair into the bathtub and bathe in it because I was so hairy. You should bathe in a... Man, kids are cool. They really can. Kids can really think of stuff. Etsy. If the market does rebound today, You know, we're kind of down just a little. We're down a little bit at this moment, but if the market rebounds, let's watch for a red to green on Etsy. We've also got a breakout spot forming. This is more of a swing trade too. On Sono, I think Peloton is another one that we watch for red to green. You had this big push yesterday. Now we are stuck at a little bit of resistance, but if we push back down, I would say about 119. I think that we'll have a chance to really get this thing going. Guys, don't forget, we got boot camp class starting back up next week. You know, we're just finishing up this one, and then we're going straight into the next one because that's just what we got to do to get ready for the summer. F-Cell's another one that looks like a short over here. Run. Man, I tried to short this multiple times yesterday, like a little tired. You're finally actually breaking under this level over here. If we get any kind of pop on this, I do think we're at a bear flag on this. Like we'll come in hot on this thing. My only worry with this one is going to be that it seems like it's a little bit oversold because it's been grinding down for a little bit. So like that pop may be a little bit short-lived. You got yourself here. Look at this thing. SPWR is another one. Just grinding down. Yeah, you got like, it's down about 3-4 days in a row, but you got a nice easy level over here. This is going to be hot. Like if it loses this spot right here, I think, man, we're going to get a nice little just quick flush, maybe $2, give or take, $1.50, $2. Both of those are going to be heaters on the long side. So let me just reiterate. On the short side, run, SPWR, VIPS, DISCA, all right? So Chinese stocks, DISCA, so on and so forth. On the red to greens, I'm going to make these in buckets, right? Futu for potential red to green. Tiger for potential red to green. This one is huge yesterday. Gapping down 5%, that's perfect, right? You could go Zim, but it's already green, Miss Carol. Can't be red to green if you already green. But it is a nice stock. If you, frankly, this was a swing trade entry over here. You're at over the top of the Bollinger Band now. I've been watching this one for a swing. I wouldn't try to hit this thing up this high. Grow G, up 12% yesterday. Another one, potential red to green. And then Peloton, potential red to green. So we got buckets, all right? I want you to think about buckets. We got red to green buckets, right? We got red to green buckets. On Peloton, Futu, Tiger, Grow G. Then we got our shorts. We've got Run, SPWR, DISCA, VIX. All right, so we got our shorts that we need. Then we've got our Bitcoin plays. Like Mara, that's holding up very, very nicely. Riot. Since it's Friday, we're taking Can off the list. It's too much stress. So that's our third bucket. Now, on the other side of things, there's some decent PR plays out here. This Selk, this looks like a little low float bonanza today. This thing is probably top of the list. AFMD, this one looks very nice too. No small caps on Fridays for me, but that's just me. I'm just your average blue-collar millionaire who lives by his rules and standards. Who am I to judge what you want to do? Who am I to judge what you want to do? Well, you could add it to the list. I can't play this. I have rules. No small caps on Fridays. Let's see. So who? I'm just messing around, Tiffy. I'm such a jerk. So who passed? Fubo. Yo, so Fubo's been really kind of meandering around this 200 SMA. It really stinks to trade. Pass, just because it's a turd for me to trade. That actually, if you're able to handle the kind of whips out on this, you could probably trade it because Now it's been having trouble getting over its 9. If it can clear, let's say it like holds over 2250, give or take, then it probably has a chance to get going. I didn't see Fubo acquires streaming rights for Qatar World Cup. Don't know. Oh yeah, that's what I want to watch. Bunch of soccer players sweating in the desert. Pass. Hey, what are you watching? Just watching some soccer in Qatar. That's amazing. All right. That would be incredible. What are you watching? I'm just watching Yemen versus Qatar. Just, those Yemenis are crushing it today. Sweet. Junk. Man, I think that's our list. I'm sticking to it. PRVB, junk. Clove is a turd. Hey, that did have a nice move yesterday, huh? Actually, you could go red to green on that. Who suggested that? You could do that. Looks, yeah. I mean, it did pop out of fucking nowhere. I would try. I would attempt the red to green on that. Sure. Now, Clove is a monster turd of a company. You know, those Chamat specs were all just a pump. My boys, Indian peoples. The thing is, most of us are good folks. You know, we just want to make an honest living. We run your motels. We run your hotels. But, you know, once the Indian person gets, you know, into the areas like California and stuff, and they get in front of those white women's, they start cheating. You look at that Chamat's Twitter profile. He's got a hot white woman right next to him. He ditched his Indian wife for her. You know he's up to no good. That's what happens. That's why we don't try to go west of the Rockies. You know, us Indians, we just can't be trusted once we go west of the Rockies. We're up to no good. At that point, you stop listening to your parents, and you start getting into a whole world. Look at Jay Joshi. He lives in San Diego. You know he's up to no good. So this Clove is okay, but you know this thing's probably a dollar stock. My boy doesn't just come in hot and give out freebies. Tiger, Future. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. What are we missing? You know, I'm not sure on RMO, to be honest. Like, it's back inside its range. You know, man. San Diego's the haven of all that stuff, too. There's too many of them for Jay Joshi. He's just batting them down, causing trouble, committing crimes, probably lying to his parents about where he's been all day. You know. Mission Beach, Pacific Beach, just wearing Hawaiian shirts and gold chains, letting his chest air flow. It's amazing. I don't know. I pass on that too. I think we got a night. This is our list. I'm sticking to it. We got the red to greens. We got the Bitcoins. And we got these shorts. We good to go. I'd probably stay away from these NFTs too. These are starting to look a little bit pump and dumpy. These are starting to look pump and dumpy. They're gonna need some PRs. That thing better be above $10, man. Hey, you know what? You probably could roll with this. Man, I saw that video. You playing basketball. You got game. Not as good as me, but I mean, you got some game. I got basketball hoop at my place too. I would roll with this. It's got enough volume. This could be hot. That's a good one. All right, that's the list. We're sticking to it. Sweet. Let's go have some fun, guys. It's Friday. Try not to screw up. There's nothing worse than screwing up on a Friday and then having to sit and stew about it all weekend, That's why we do no small caps on Fridays. Fridays are for booze, drugs, and making bad decisions. That's it. That's it. All right, let's do this, guys. Remember your buckets. We got our shorts. We got our Bitcoin stocks. And we got our red to green. All right? Rock and roll. Rock and roll. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Future, Tiger, top of the list for potential red to greens. All right, let's do this. Let's have some fun.